My beloved child, come close and listen with your spirit, for I have a secret of the kingdom to share with you, one that will breathe life into your weary bones and hope into your heavy heart. You have walked a long road, and many times you have felt as though your voice was lost in the vastness of the cosmos, as if your petitions were falling upon silent ears or vanishing into a void of indifference. But I tell you today, not a single word you have spoken in faith has been forgotten. Every sigh, every groan of your spirit, and every tear that has tracked down your cheek has been gathered by my hand. In the high places of my dwelling, there is a golden bowl that bears your name. It is a vessel of exquisite beauty, crafted specifically to hold the essence of your communication with me. For a long time, you have been pouring into this vessel. You poured into it when you were joyful, but more importantly, you poured into it when you were broken, when the shadows seemed to stretch long across your path, and when you did not have the strength to do anything but whisper my name. You thought those prayers were gone, spent like water on dry ground, but in the reality of my spirit, they were being preserved as a precious fragrance. I want you to understand the mystery of the fullness. There is a weight to your faith, a substance to your persistence that registers in the heavens. For years, the level of that bowl has been rising. Every time you chose to trust me despite what your eyes were seeing, the bowl grew heavier. Every time you stood in the gap for a loved one, or asked for a breakthrough that seemed impossible, the vessel filled a little more. And now, my child, I want you to look up. I want you to see what I see from the throne of grace. That bowl is no longer half full. It is no longer just reaching the rim. It has reached its capacity. It is brimming over, trembling with the weight of my answered promises and your unwavering devotion. The surface is shimmering, and the slightest movement of my hand is causing it to tilt. Can you feel the shift in the atmosphere? Can you sense the divine momentum that is building? The season of accumulation is ending, and the season of the outpouring is beginning. This is the tipping point. When the bowl tips, it does not release a trickle, it releases a flood. It is the suddenness of my favor, the suddenly that you have read about in my word but have yet to fully experience in your own life. You have been in the tension of the not yet, but I am bringing you into the reality of the now. Do not let go of your expectancy. Do not allow the fatigue of the wait to dull your vision. The very prayers you thought I had ignored are the ones that have finally tipped the scales in your favor. I have been waiting for this perfect moment, where your character matches the blessing I am about to release, and where the glory will be so clearly mine that no man can take credit for it. The fragrance of your prayers has filled my courts, and the aroma is sweet to me. It is a scent of endurance, of love, and of a child who refuses to let go of their father's hand. As the bowl begins to spill its contents back toward the earth, toward your life, toward your family, and toward your circumstances, you will see that I was never silent. I was simply collecting. I was never distant. I was preparing the vessel for a weight of glory that you are finally ready to carry. Prepare your heart, for the heavens are about to rain down the very things you thought were lost. The tipping has begun, and the grace that is coming is more than enough to wash away every sorrow of the long night you have endured. I have seen you when the world did not. I was there when you whispered my name in the darkness of your room, your heart heavy with burdens you felt you could not share with anyone else. I saw the silent determination in your spirit when you decided to trust me one more time, despite the evidence that screamed against your peace. Each of those moments was a golden drop added to the vessel of your destiny. Think of the persistence of the widow who would not take no for an answer, or the faith of the centurion who understood that a single word from my mouth could change everything. You have walked in their footsteps. You have been building a treasury in heaven, and I have guarded it with a jealousy that only a father can possess. The angels have watched as the level in your bowl rose day by day, month by month. They have marveled at your consistency, even when you felt you were failing. For in my eyes, your struggle to believe is a beautiful sacrifice. It is easy to pray when the sun is shining and the harvest is in the barn. But when you pray in the middle of the winter, that is when the bowl fills with the richest gold. And now look at the tilt. The angels are standing ready, for they know what happens when a bowl of prayer tips in the presence of the Almighty. They are ready to carry the answers, to move the mountains, and to open the doors that no man can shut. The atmosphere around you is thick with the anticipation of heaven. You may feel a restlessness in your spirit, a sense that something is about to break, a quickening of your spiritual pulse. That is the resonance of the tipping bowl. It is the sound of the first splashes of my grace hitting the dry ground of your circumstances. I am doing a new thing, and it shall spring forth. Can you not perceive it? It is the culmination of your cries and my promises meeting in a divine collision of timing and favor. The wait was not a denial. It was a preparation for a greater weight of glory. You are about to see that every second of the delay was orchestrated to bring about a more perfect result. The bowl is tipping, my child, and the outpouring of my love will overwhelm every shadow that has tried to claim your joy. Trust the process of the fullness, for I am a God who keeps his word. Watch now as the droplets turn into a steady stream, and that stream becomes a torrential downpour of my goodness. Do not be startled by the intensity of the flow, for your heart has been widened in the waiting to contain this very moment. I have watched you in the quiet seasons, those long nights when the silence seemed to echo back your own questions. I saw the persistence of your faith when there was no visible sign of change, and I tell you now, that persistence was the very force that kept the bowl filling until it reached its breaking point. Every whisper of "I trust you" was a weight added to the scale of my timing. Every tear shed in the secret place was captured and stored, becoming the very substance of the breakthrough you are about to witness. The heavens are no longer brass over your head. They are open, shimmering with the light of my favor, and they are releasing a harvest that is proportional to the duration of your trial. If the wait was long, it is because the manifestation is massive. I do not do things in half measures, my beloved. When I move with the fullness of my kingdom. I declare over you today that the season of spiritual drought is officially at an end. I am speaking to the dry places of your soul, those areas where hope had begun to wither, and where your dreams had started to turn to dust. Feel the moisture of my spirit soaking deep into the roots of your being. I am rehydrating your vision. I am reviving the promises that you thought had died in the heat of the struggle. Can you hear the sound of the abundance of rain? It is the sound of chains breaking under the weight of my glory. It is the sound of prison doors swinging wide, because they can no longer hold the one whom I have favored. I am pouring out a spirit of clarity where there has been confusion, and a garment of praise where there has been a spirit of heaviness. The gray clouds that have obscured your path are being swept away by the wind of my breath, revealing a horizon that is bright with the colors of my promise. I'm not just touching one area of your life. The overflow of the bowl is splashing into every corner of your existence. It is touching your household, bringing a peace that surpasses all understanding. It is touching your finances, making a way where there was no way and providing for you out of my riches in glory. It is touching your physical body, bringing a quickening of health and a restoration of strength that will cause you to run and not grow weary. I am the God of the sudden shift. While men count the days and calculate the odds, I step into time and change the trajectory of an entire life in a single heartbeat. This is your suddenly season. The momentum of heaven is behind you now, and nothing that the enemy has planned can withstand the velocity of my grace. You are being propelled forward into a new territory, a place of enlargement where your influence will grow, and your voice will carry the weight of my authority. Stand firm and lift your eyes, for I am doing a work that will cause those around you to marvel. They will see the transformation and know that it was not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit. I am making you a living testimony of my faithfulness. The scars of the past are becoming medals of honor, evidence that you endured the refinement and emerged as pure gold. Do not look back at the desert you have left behind, for its power over you is broken. Look forward to the land of milk and honey that I have prepared for you. I am anointing your head with oil, and your cup, this earthly vessel of yours, is running over. The bowl in heaven was the reservoir, and now your life is the river. Flow with me. Trust the current of my love as it carries you into your destiny. There is no lack in my presence, and there is no delay in my final decree. The tipping point has passed, and the floodgates are wide. Receive the fullness of what I have for you are my child, and it is my good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Every word I have spoken over you is now being activated. The wait is over, the outpouring has begun. As the first droplets of this heavy rain touch the dry earth of your soul, do not be startled by the sound of the thunder. It is not a storm of destruction, but a herald of life. For too long, you walked in the silence of the not yet, but I tell you today, the suddenly of heaven has arrived. I am the God of the breakthrough, and I am breaking through the barriers that have hemmed you in for generations. This bowl that has tipped is not just containing your petitions. It is saturated with the fragrance of your worship and the salt of your tears. Every night you spent wondering if I heard you, I was actually capturing those whispers and weaving them into the tapestry of your deliverance. Listen to the rhythm of my heart beating for you. You are not a number in a crowd, nor are you a forgotten servant in a distant field. You are the apple of my eye. When the bowl tipped, it was my own hand that nudged it, for I have seen that your heart is ready to carry the weight of the glory I am about to bestow. If I had released it sooner, it might have overwhelmed you, but I have used the delay to build your capacity. I have expanded the borders of your spirit. I have strengthened your foundations through the trials you thought would break you. Now, look at your hands. They are no longer empty. They are being filled with the fruit of your faithfulness. I declare over you a season of radical restoration. I am reaching back into the years that felt wasted, the years where you felt you were running in place, and I am redeeming the time. I am restoring the joy of your salvation and adding to it the wisdom of a seasoned warrior. The shadows that used to haunt your mind are fleeing before the light of this new dawn. I am speaking peace to your storms and command to your chaos. The mountain that stood before you is becoming a plain. Not because you are strong, but because I am your strength. Feel the warmth of my presence as it surrounds you like a cloak. This is the intimacy I have longed for you to experience. Beyond the answers to your prayers, I want you to have me. I am the giver, and I am the gift. As the contents of the heavenly bowl saturate your life, they will overflow into the lives of those around you. You shall be called a repairer of the breach, a restorer of streets to dwell in. Your house will be a sanctuary of my presence, and your words will carry the weight of my authority. Because you stood when others fell, and because you believed when others doubted, I am honoring you in the sight of your enemies. Do not fear the scale of what I am doing. Some would say it is too good to be true, but I am the God who does exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or think. My economy is not governed by the scarcity of the world. My storehouses are inexhaustible. I am opening the windows of heaven and pouring out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. This is your season of surplus. Surplus of peace, surplus of health, surplus of provision, and a surplus of my manifest presence. Walk now in the confidence of a child who knows they are deeply loved. You do not need to strive anymore. The work of the bowl was to collect. The work of the tipping is my sovereign act. Your work now is to receive. Open your heart wide. Let go of the old garments of mourning and put on the garment of praise. I am turning your mourning into dancing. I am taking off your sackcloth and clothing you with gladness. This is the day the Lord has made, and you shall rejoice and be glad in it. The sound of your prayers has been replaced by the sound of my answer, and it is a beautiful melody of grace. Rest in me. Abide in me. Watch as I perform the miraculous in the ordinary places of your life. The overflow is here, and it is only the beginning. My beloved, do you see the light shifting? The atmosphere around you is changing because the frequency of heaven is invading your space. What was once heavy and burdensome is being lifted by the wings of my spirit. I am anointing your eyes to see the opportunities I have placed before you, hidden in plain sight during your season of waiting. No longer will you stumble in the dark, for my word is a lamp unto your feet and a brilliant light upon your path. I am breathing fresh life into your dreams, even those you thought had died and been buried. I am the resurrection and the life, and I am calling those dreams to come forth. They will not look like they did before. They will be infused with the wisdom and power of my kingdom. I am aligning your steps with my divine purpose, and every connection you need is being orchestrated by my hand. People will come to you seeking the light that is within you, and you will give it freely, for the well within you will never run dry. You are my vessel of honor, set apart for this very hour. The tipping of the bowl is the signal that your preparation is complete. Enter into the joy of your Lord, for I am well pleased with you. My child, as the first droplets of this heavenly outpouring touch the dry ground of your life, feel the shift in the atmosphere around you. This is not a fleeting mist, but the commencement of a divine deluge intended to saturate every parched area of your existence. You have stood long in the hallway of expectation, and I have heard the echoes of your footsteps as you paced in the silence of the night. But now, the silence is broken by the sound of abundance. Can you hear it? It is the roar of the river of my pleasure, released from the golden bowls that have held your faith in sacred trust. Every whisper you uttered when your voice was trembling, every plea for mercy when your heart was breaking, these have become the very substance of the blessing now descending upon you. I am the God of the breakthrough, and I am breaking through the barriers that have hemmed you in for years. I am speaking to the walls of limitation. Fall down. I am speaking to the gates of bronze. Be shattered. I am speaking to the bars of iron. Be cut asunder. The weight of my glory is resting upon you, and it is a weight that brings not burden, but the power to soar. I am restoring the years that the locust has eaten, the years you thought were lost to the shadows of grief and delay. I do not merely replace, I redeem with interest. I am bringing back the joy of your salvation with a depth you have never known, for you have been refined in the furnace and have come forth as pure gold. See with the eyes of your spirit how the landscape of your life is changing. Where there was a desert, there shall be springs of water. Where there was barrenness, there shall be a harvest that requires more barns to contain. I am the God of more than enough, and I am overflowing the cup of your life until it spills over into the lives of everyone you touch. You are becoming a conduit of my grace, a living testimony that I am a rewarder of those who diligently seek me. Do not fear the magnitude of what I am doing. Some would say it is too much, but I say it is simply the measure of my love for you. I am anointing your head with fresh oil, an oil of gladness that will heal the fractures in your soul and bring a peace that surpasses all understanding. Your family shall see the change in you and be drawn to the light that radiates from your countenance. I am mending the broken strings of your heart's harp, and a new song is being composed within you, a song of victory, a song of deliverance, a song of home. The tipping of the bowl is an irreversible act of my sovereignty. What I have opened, no man can shut. What I have released, no power can recall. Walk now with a new stride, for the ground beneath you is holy, and the path before you is paved with my promises. I am going before you to make the crooked places straight, and I am your rear guard, protecting you from the shadows of the past. You are my beloved, and in this outpouring you will find the fullness of your identity. You are not a slave to circumstance. You are a child of the King, an heir to the riches of my kingdom. Drink deeply from the stream of my presence, for it is here that you will find the strength for the great exploits I have prepared for you. The world will wonder at the favor that rests upon you, and you will point them to the one who sits upon the throne, the one who bottled every tear and turned them into wine. This is your hour of manifestation. The cloud that was once the size of a man's hand has now covered the horizon, and the rain of my spirit is falling. Receive it, embrace it, let it wash away the dust of the old season. I am doing a new thing, and even now it springs forth. Can you not perceive it? It is the manifestation of my heart toward you, a heart that has always been for you and never against you. I am even now reaching into the deep recesses of your memory to heal the wounds that you thought would never fade. I am speaking peace to your troubled thoughts and clarity to your confusion. Every prayer for your children, every plea for your health, every cry for provision, they are all contained within this tipping bowl. Witness the precision of my timing. I am never early and I am never late. I am always perfectly on time. As the waters of my spirit rise around you, let go of the shores of the familiar. Step out into the deep where I am calling you. There is a greater glory awaiting you in the depths of my love. I am preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies, and they will watch in awe as I honor your faithfulness. Your testimony will be a beacon to the lost and a comfort to the weary. Do not look back at the desert you have left behind, for its heat can no longer scorch you. Look forward to the lush valleys and the mountain peaks of my promise. I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. Rest in the assurance that the bowl will continue to pour until every promise I have made to you is realized in your sight. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and I am the author and finisher of your faith. Trust me as the overflow continues, for I have saved the best for last, and your eyes shall behold the wonder of my goodness in the land of the living. My peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives, but as only the Father can. You are favored, you are chosen, and you are dearly loved. Beloved, the resonance of your voice has never faded from my ears, and the weight of your petitions has never been a burden to my heart. As the golden vessel continues its descent, understand that the weight it carried was not merely a list of your requests, but the precious substance of your faith refined in the fire of perseverance. Every sigh you breathed in the midnight hour, every "Thy will be done," whispered through tears, has been transformed into a liquid glory that now seeks the lowest places of your life to fill them to the brim. I am not just answering your petitions, I am responding to the depth of your devotion. You have sought my face with a hunger that moves the heavens, and in doing so, you have invited the very atmosphere of my kingdom to invade your earthly reality. The tipping of the bowl is a deliberate act of my sovereignty, a calculated, rhythmic release of destiny that can no longer be contained by the boundaries of the unseen realm. You may have felt overlooked during the long winter of waiting, but the silence was never my absence. It was the sacred space required for the reservoir of your blessing to reach its divine capacity. Now, the atmosphere around you is shifting with an undeniable weight. Can you feel the humidity of my spirit? The air is thick with the electricity of promise and the fragrance of imminent breakthrough. I am declaring over you this day that the era of not yet has been swallowed up by the day of suddenly. I am opening doors that have been rusted shut by decades of disappointment, and I am smoothing the rugged paths where you once stumbled in the dark. This overflow is not a trickle. It is a torrent intended to saturate your entire lineage. I am breaking the cycles of lack and the chains of generational sorrow that have attempted to etch their name upon your family tree. From this moment forward, your name shall be synonymous with my abundance. I am placing a new mantle upon your shoulders, woven with the threads of victory and the shimmering gold of my constant presence. Do not recoil from the magnitude of what I am doing in your midst. Some would call this level of favor overwhelming, but I call it the natural inheritance of my children. You were never created to merely survive on the crumbs of existence. You were designed to feast at the king's table, where the supply is eternal. As the pour increases, I am stretching the boundaries of your heart so you can hold more of my love, more of my joy, and more of my unsearchable wisdom. Look at your hands. I am anointing them for a new level of creative power and productivity. What you touch shall prosper, not by the sweat of your brow alone, but by the divine momentum of the heavenward flow. I am restoring the years that the locust and the palmerworm have eaten, those seasons you felt were swallowed by the void of futility. In my economy, nothing is ever lost. It is merely held in trust until the appointed time of supernatural multiplication. The fruit you shall bear in this season will be sweeter and more resilient than anything you could have planted in your own strength. Hear my voice in the sound of the rushing waters that now surround you. I am speaking peace to your lingering storms and a divine stillness to your anxieties. The bowl continues to tip because my love for you is an inexhaustible fountain. There is no bottom to my grace and no horizon to my mercy. You are standing under a celestial waterfall of divine intention. Let the spray wash away the dust of the long road and the grime of the battles you have fought. You are being refreshed, renewed, and strategically repositioned for the glory that is breaking forth. I am calling out the hidden treasures within you, the gifts and callings that have lain dormant during the hidden years. Now is the time for their spectacular awakening. You shall see clearly what was once obscured by the thick fog of uncertainty. I am giving you eyes to see the spiritual landscape as I see it, not as a graveyard of dead dreams, but as a harvest field white for the reaping. Your prayers were the seeds, your tears were the water, and I am the Son of Righteousness bringing forth the growth. This is the convergence of my perfect timing and your unwavering tenacity. Stay close to my heart as the landscape of your life changes forever. The familiar landmarks of your struggle are being submerged by the rising tide of my favor. Walk with me into the deep places. Do not fear the depth, for I am the God who walks upon the waves and the God who breathes life into the abyss. Your future is not a recycled version of your past. It is a fresh revelation of my goodness. Every word I have whispered in the secret place is now coming into perfect alignment. The heavens are active on your behalf, and my messengers are clearing the way for your advancement. Receive the fullness of this hour. Let the overflow saturate every cell of your being, every corner of your home, and every dream you have dared to breathe. I am the God of the overflow, and I will not stop the pour until your joy is complete and your cup runs over into the lives of all who cross your path. You are my masterpiece, and this is the stroke of my grace that completes the vision. Beloved, lift your eyes and behold the celestial architecture of this moment, for the very atmosphere around you is trembling with the weight of a divine transition. For years, you have sown in tears, pouring the essence of your soul into the silence of the night, wondering if the echoes of your heart ever reached the throne of grace. I tell you today with the authority of the Eternal that they did not only reach me, but they were treasured, distilled, and preserved in a golden vessel of remembrance that stands at the center of my heart. That vessel is now full. It has reached its absolute capacity. It is heavy with the weight of your faithfulness, the density of your hidden tears, and the sweet, lingering fragrance of your unwavering trust during the seasons of drought. And now, my child, it is tipping. Can you hear the sound of the atmospheric shift? It is the sound of a heavenly momentum that cannot be reversed by any power on earth or beneath it. The gravity of my sovereign love is pulling the contents of that bowl toward the soil of your existence. What is falling is not merely a response to a request. It is a deluge of my divine intent, a torrential downpour of destiny that has been gathering for generations. This is the hour of the great outpouring, where the prayers of a lifetime, and even the prayers of those who went before you, converge into a single season of supernatural collision. I am collapsing time on your behalf. The years you thought were lost to the wilderness, the time you believed was stolen by the enemy, are being compressed into a harvest so dense and so rich that you will need new strength just to carry the bounty. I am breathing upon the embers of forgotten promises, and they are roaring into a flame that will illuminate your entire lineage. I am the God who remembers every sigh. I am the God who restores every broken piece. I am the God who exceeds every human expectation. As this heavenly bowl tips, notice the intricate nature of what is being released. It is not just the specific answers you sought, but the hidden treasures of my glory that you did not even know to ask for. I am pouring out the above and beyond. I am pouring out the exceedingly and abundantly. I am anointing your head with the oil of joy until it drips down to the hem of your garments, saturating every area of your influence, your home, and your heritage. The dry ground of your soul is becoming a wellspring of life. The parched places of your destiny are becoming lush, vibrant gardens of my grace. I am speaking over the foundations of your house. Peace be still. I am speaking over the turbulence of your mind. Clarity be released like the morning sun. I am the Father who delights in the prosperity of his children, and my heart is overflowing with joy as I watch the dawn of realization upon your face. This transition is not subtle. It is a seismic shift in the spiritual landscape of your life. The barriers that once stood like immovable mountains are dissolving like wax in the heat of my glory. The doors that were bolted shut by fear or circumstance are not just unlocking, they are being removed from their hinges to make way for your advancement. I have prepared a table for you in the presence of your enemies, but more than a table, I have prepared a throne of authority from which you shall govern your life in partnership with my Spirit. You are no longer a victim of the shifting winds. You are a co-heir to the riches of my kingdom. Feel the warmth of this golden rain as it falls. It is washing away the soot of the struggle and the dust of the road. It is cleansing the deep wounds of betrayal and the scars of disappointment. It is restoring the vibrancy of your vision and the strength of your spirit. I am making your eyes to see as I see, and your heart to beat in rhythm with the pulse of heaven. Every prophetic word spoken over you since the day of your birth is being activated in this current. The heavens are not silent, they are singing over you with the melody of deliverance. Can you hear the sound? It is a song of victory, a song of homecoming, a song of absolute triumph. You have wandered long enough in the corridors of waiting. The door is open, the bowl is tipped, and the flood of my favor is an unstoppable force. This is your moment of divine convergence. Every trial, every test, and every lonely hour was but the gathering of the moisture for this magnificent storm of blessing. Do not be afraid of the magnitude of what I am doing, for I have expanded your capacity to receive. I have widened the borders of your heart so that you can contain the fullness of this joy. Drink deeply from the river of my delights, for it flows directly from my throne to your heart. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way, and I am making that way now. Your future is bright with the radiance of my presence, and I am the lifter of your head. Rest in the assurance that I am moving with power and purpose. Trust in the momentum of my grace. The bowl has tipped, the pour has begun, and my love will never run dry. You are my beloved, my masterpiece, and in you I am well pleased. Step into the overflow and let it carry you home. Beloved, as you stand in the center of this downpour, understand that this is not a passing shower, but a fundamental change in the climate of your spirit. I am the gardener of your soul, and I have watched the parched ground of your patience crack under the heat of the trial. But look now. The water from the tipped bowl is seeping into the deepest crevices of your history. It is reaching the roots of dreams you thought had died decades ago. I am resurrecting hope where only ashes remained. Can you feel the shift in the wind? The very air around you is thick with the fragrance of answered petitions. For every tear you shed in the secret place, I am releasing a wave of public restoration. You have sown in tears, and now you shall reap in shouts of joy. This is the divine exchange of the kingdom. I am taking the heavy yoke of not enough and replacing it with the easy burden of my more than enough. Do not look back at the desert with longing or regret, for the desert has served its purpose in teaching you that I am your only source. Now, as the river rises, I am teaching you how to swim in the depths of my abundance. This overflow is not for you alone. It is designed to spill over from your life into the lives of everyone you touch. You are becoming a conduit of the miraculous. When you speak, my authority will back your words. When you pray for the broken, my healing virtue will flow through your hands. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, but a victor through my spirit. I am calling forth the hidden treasures stored in darkness. I am opening the storehouses of heaven to supply your every need according to my riches in glory. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Your family shall see the transformation and marvel at the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I am healing the generational wounds that have hampered your progress. I am breaking the cycles of lack and the patterns of defeat that have haunted your lineage. From this day forward, you shall be known as the one whom the Lord has blessed. I am placing a new song in your mouth, a hymn of praise to your God. Many will see and fear and put their trust in me because of what I am doing in you. Do not be overwhelmed by the scale of the blessing, for I have been preparing you for this weight of glory. Your character has been forged in the furnace, and now it is ready to carry the gold of my favor. I am positioning you for influence and impact. The doors that were slammed shut in your face are being removed from their hinges. The mountains that stood in your path are melting like wax at my presence. Walk forward with the confidence of a child who knows their father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. There is no lack in my kingdom, and you are a citizen of the highest realm. Drink of the wine of my spirit and be refreshed. Eat of the bread of life and be strengthened. The journey ahead is not one of struggle, but of manifestation. You are moving from the season of asking into the season of possessing. Take hold of the promises I have whispered to you in the night. They are no longer shadows, they are becoming substance. I am the God of the breakthrough, and I am breaking through every barrier that has sought to limit you. Rest in my love, for it is the foundation of all that I am doing. My love is the reason the bowl was filled, and my love is the reason it is now poured out. You are cherished beyond measure, and my eyes are ever upon you. As this pour continues, know that I am with you in every drop, every ripple, and every wave. We are walking together into a future that exceeds your boldest prayers and your wildest imaginations. The overflow is your new reality. Every shadow that once loomed large in your peripheral vision is being dissolved by the sheer brilliance of this light. I am making the crooked places straight and the rough places plain. You will find that the resources you needed yesterday are appearing today with an ease that baffles your logic. This is the supernatural economy of my grace. I am aligning your steps with my heartbeats. Your pulse will match the rhythm of my mercy. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet, for the bowl is tipped over your rest as well as your labor. I am the Alpha and the Omega, and I have already seen the beautiful conclusion of the chapters you are just now beginning to write. Trust in the momentum. Trust in the overflow. Trust in me, for I am the God who never fails, never leaves, and never stops pouring. And because I never stop pouring, you will see the results of this saturation in every corner of your existence. I am breathing upon the embers of your oldest dreams, those that you thought had long since turned to ash in the winds of disappointment. Watch as they ignite with a holy fire, fueled by the oil of my spirit that is pouring from the bowl above. This is not a flicker that will fade, but a steady flame that will light your path and warm those who seek shelter in your presence. I am making you a beacon of hope in a world shrouded in uncertainty. As the overflow continues, notice how the heavy burdens you once carried have become light, replaced by the weight of my glory, which is far more substantial yet effortless to bear. I am recalibrating your perspective so that you no longer see through the lens of lack, but through the prism of my abundance. Every no you encountered in the past was merely a not yet, or a redirection toward a greater yes that is manifesting now. I am the master orchestrator, and I have timed this release to coincide with the moment your character was ready to sustain the blessing. You have been processed in the secret place, refined in the furnace of waiting, and now you are coming forth as gold. The tipping of the bowl is your public vindication for the private battles you fought with such quiet faithfulness. I saw the moments you chose to trust me when everything around you screamed that I had forgotten. I saw the prayers you whispered through tears, and I tell you, not one of them was lost. They were the very seeds of this harvest. I am now commanding the earth to yield its increase to you. The heavens are open, and the windows are pouring out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. This is the overflow I promised. It is a saturation that reaches into the very marrow of your bones, bringing healing to the physical ailments that have hindered your stride. I am your healer, and the water from the bowl carries the medicine of heaven. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders and the anxiety departing from your mind. I am giving you the mind of Christ, focused, peaceful, and filled with divine strategy. You will know what to do and when to do it, for my spirit will lead you beside still waters and restore your soul. I am also touching your finances and your resources. The drought is over. I am teaching you the secrets of the kingdom economy, where sowing leads to reaping and generosity leads to increase. You will be a conduit of my blessing, a river through which my provision flows to a thirsty world. Do not fear the greatness of the assignment, for my grace is sufficient for you. I am aligning you with divine connections, people who carry the keys to your next level, and those who need the light you carry. These encounters are not accidental, they are appointments scheduled in the courts of heaven. You are entering a season of divine synchronicity. Your timing will be perfect, your words will be seasoned with grace, and your actions will be empowered by my hand. I am stripping away the labels that the world and even you yourself have placed upon your identity. You are not forgotten, you are chosen. You are not broken, you are mended and made whole. You are my beloved, in whom I am well pleased. The bowl is tipping over your identity, washing away the lies of the enemy and revealing the true royalty that lies within you. You were born for this moment, prepared for this outpouring, and destined for this glory. I am the God of the breakthrough, and I am breaking through every barrier that has stood in your way. The walls of Jericho are falling at the sound of your praise. The Red Sea is parting at the touch of your faith. Walk forward, my child, into the fullness of all I have prepared for you. The overflow is not a destination, but a way of living. It is the constant awareness of my presence and the unending supply of my love. I am with you, I am for you, and I am in you. The bowl is tipped, the heavens are open, and the best is yet to come. I am unfolding the hidden riches of secret places before your eyes, revealing that the delays were never denials but a divine preservation. Your roots have grown deep in the dry soil, and now that the rain has come, your growth will be exponential. You will see a rapid acceleration in your spiritual understanding and your natural circumstances. This is the year of the recompense, where I am settling the accounts of the past and bringing you into a wealthy place. Your heart will swell with the magnitude of my goodness, and your mouth will be filled with laughter. Rest in this truth. I am the one who began this work in you, and I am the one who will see it through to its glorious completion. The tipping is just the beginning of a life lived under an open heaven. There is no lack in my kingdom, and you are a citizen of that kingdom, empowered to live in the abundance of my grace. Keep your eyes fixed on me, and you will see the wonders I have in store. Behold, the tipping of the bowl is not a silent event. It is a celestial roar that echoes through the corridors of time and space, announcing that the season of your waiting has merged into the season of your witnessing. As the contents spill forth, they carry the weight of every silent cry you uttered in the middle of the night, and every prayer that felt like it had hit a brass heaven. I tell you now, those prayers never fell to the earth. They were gathered with meticulous care, stored in the precious vessels of my sanctuary, and now they are returning to you as a deluge of divine intervention. Can you feel the shift in the spiritual atmosphere? The air around you is thick with the scent of answered petitions. What was once a parched land is becoming a garden of delights, for the water of my spirit is saturating the very soil of your destiny. This is the hour where the seeds you sowed in tears are erupting into a harvest of joy that no man can diminish. I am the God who remembers, and I am the Father who rewards. I am looking into the depths of your heart and seeing the quiet persistence that kept you moving forward even when the path was obscured by mist. That persistence has moved my heart. The bowl is not merely tipping. It is being poured out with intentionality and precision, targeting every area where you have felt a deficit. I am addressing the generational droughts that have plagued your lineage. The prayers of your ancestors, those who cried out for their children and their children's children, are being unlocked in this very moment. You are the recipient of a cumulative blessing, a reservoir of grace that has been building for decades, waiting for such a time as this to be released. You will see breakthroughs that your fathers only dreamed of, and you will walk in levels of favor that your mothers only whispered about in faith. I am breaking the cycles of lack and the patterns of frustration that have tried to define your family tree. From this day forward, you are marked by the overflow. My prophetic word over you is one of total restoration. I am restoring the years the locust has eaten, the time you thought was wasted, the energy you thought was spent in vain, and the dreams you thought had died in the cold. I am breathing my life into those dead things, and they are rising as monuments to my power. You will find that the rapid acceleration I promised is not just a metaphor, it is a physical reality. Things that took years for others to achieve will manifest for you in months, and what took others decades will be yours in a single season of my favor. This is not for your glory, but for mine, so that all who see you will know that there is a God in heaven who delights in his children. Do not be afraid of the magnitude of what I am doing. Your capacity to receive is being expanded even as the blessing descends. I am stretching your heart to hold more love, more peace, and more understanding. You will no longer be overwhelmed by the storms of life, for you will be overwhelmed by the goodness of your King. I am placing a new song in your mouth, a melody of triumph that will silence the accuser and bring hope to the hopeless. You are becoming a living epistle of my grace, a testament to the truth that those who trust in me will never be put to shame. As the bowl continues to tip, expect the unexpected. Look for me in the coincidences, for they are my fingerprints. Hear me in the whispers of the wind, for they are my directions. I am guiding you with my eye, leading you into a spacious place where you can breathe the air of freedom. The chains of your past are not just loosened, they are dissolved by the acidity of my mercy. You are entering a time of profound clarity where the why of your journey will finally make sense. Every detour was a preparation, every delay was a protection, and every disappointment was a redirection toward this glorious outpouring. This is your year of recompense, your moment of rising, and your season of the open heaven. The tipping is complete, the spill is spreading, and the flood of my love is covering everything you touch. Walk forward with your head held high, for you are the beloved of the Most High, and your Father has seen fit to give you the kingdom. Rest in this reality, for I am with you, and my promise to you is yes and amen. As the spill of my grace spreads across the landscape of your life, do not be surprised by the sudden blossoming of dreams you thought had died in the winter of your soul. I am the God of the resurrection, and nothing that I have promised you can truly perish. It merely waits for the appointed time of the outpouring. Can you feel the shift in the spiritual atmosphere around you? The heavy burden you carried for so long has been replaced by the lightness of my presence. I am smoothing the rugged paths and making the crooked ways straight before your feet. You have walked through the valley of the shadow, but now you stand upon the heights of my favor. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? This is not a temporary relief, but a permanent restructuring of your reality. I am realigning your circumstances to match the declarations of my heart. Every prayer that you whispered in the dark, every cry that felt like it hit a brass ceiling, has been transformed into a diamond of destiny in my hands. I have not forgotten a single word you uttered in faith. I have bottled every tear, and now I am pouring them back out upon you as a refreshing rain. Look at your hands. They are no longer empty. They are being filled with the fruit of your endurance. I am restoring the years that the locust has eaten, the years of silent suffering and misunderstood intentions. I am vindicating you in the presence of those who doubted my work within you. But do not look back at the critics or the shadows. Keep your gaze fixed on my eyes, for in them you will find the strength to carry the weight of the glory I am releasing. This glory is not for your heavy lifting, but for your joyful witnessing. You are a vessel of my honor, a chosen instrument to display my goodness in the land of the living. Let the peace that surpasses all understanding guard your heart and your mind. I am the architect of your future, and the blueprints are marked with victory and abundance. There is no lack in my kingdom, and as you have sought first my kingdom, all these things are being added unto you with a measure that is pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is the overflow I spoke of. It is not just enough for you. It is enough to change the world around you. Your family shall see the light upon your face and know that I am God. Your workplace shall experience a shift because of the fragrance of my spirit that you carry. You are a portal of my presence, a bridge between heaven and earth. As you move, the bowl continues to empty its riches into your daily walk. Trust the process of this holy saturation. Do not hurry to the next thing, but linger in this moment of divine encounter. I am speaking secrets to your heart in the stillness, revealing strategies for the season ahead. You will know exactly where to step, whom to trust, and when to act, for my spirit is your internal compass. I am sharpening your discernment so that you can see the traps of the enemy from a distance and bypass them with ease. You are rising above the noise of the world and tuning into the frequency of my voice. This is the intimacy I have longed for, and it is the foundation of all the power I am entrusting to you. You are my child, my heir, and my delight. Everything I have is yours. Believe it, receive it, and walk in the fullness of it today. The tipping has begun, and the flood of my favor knows no bounds. I am covering your past with my blood and your future with my light. There is nothing to fear, for I have already overcome the world for you. My love is a shield around you, a fire within you, and a song over you. Even in the moments when you felt most alone, I was weaving a tapestry of grace that you are only now beginning to see. Every thread of sorrow is being interwoven with the golden silk of my joy. You are coming into a realization of your true identity, not as the world defined you, but as I have always seen you. You are royalty, set apart for such a time as this. The spill from the heavenly bowl is not just washing away the old, it is consecrating the new. It is anointing your head with oil until your cup runs over. This is the oil of gladness instead of mourning, the garment of praise instead of a spirit of heaviness. You are being strengthened with might in your inner man, rooted and grounded in love. This love is the anchor that will hold you steady as the blessings increase. For I am not only giving you the gift, I am giving you the capacity to carry it. Do not fear the magnitude of what I am doing. I have prepared you for this. The trials were your training ground, and you have graduated with honors in the school of faith. Now, watch as I open doors that no man can shut. Watch as I bring increase from unexpected sources. Your soul shall be like a watered garden, and you shall not languish any more. I am your God, and I am faithful to finish the work I started in you. Rest in my embrace, for the spill is only the beginning of the wonders I have in store for you. This spill is a saturation of my holiness and my power, seeping into the dry cracks of your life and bringing forth rivers in the wasteland. You will see that I am the God of the breakthrough, and my timing is perfect. Walk with me, talk with me, and let my peace be your guide. The bowl is tipped, and I am with you.